Welcome to the big show. I am your host, Jerk. And how's everybody doing? It seems like this is an electric atmosphere in the studio tonight, and I think I know why you're all so excited. Because patch notes are right around the corner. And truth be told, I've already read them. And I think it's safe to say... But... Yeah, right? But that means we're getting ahead of ourselves. We still have some other things to do first, and according to this list, we need to do an interview first. Now, this was a request I recently got asking for me to get our longtime friend back on the big show. So let's give them a warm applause and join me in welcoming the Tech Tree Tier 7 Russian battleship. Give it up for Vladivostok. Yes, Vladivostok. At one point a regular on this show, but his ship lines expand and the, for lack of a better term, meta changes. It may have seemed like this ship has fallen out of favor with myself, but that's not true at all. It is still my most played ship with 906 battles in it at the time of this recording. I still somehow have the damage record in it as well, and it is also helmed by the first commander I ever completely maxed out. Up on the big screen, it is Kedorov and Andy Stunningham with Freaky Beepley, and I'm not sure she really needs to be on there, but whatever. That's how it was in this match. I feel that there are only so many Gandalf, "you shall not pass" impressions you can make to describe Vladivostok's playstyle, and I've done so many videos on it in the past, there's really no reason for me to rehash most of it. But at least here, we can see how I played in a particular situation on this particular map, and I can walk you through my thought process of when I realized I was most likely boned and how I got myself out of it, and that moment is right about now. Because if you look up at the minimap, you may be able to ascertain that our positioning is going to become an issue. Frankly, I turned in too early because I anticipated my teammates continuing on a 3-hour tour, but instead they have lined up behind me, meaning the red team only needs to angle in one direction. The story of my life. I don't think anyone here is a One Direction fan and are gonna get that. Everybody knows the Russian battleship weakness. Sure, they are tanky as all get out when bow in, but you flash a little ankle on your way to the sock hop and you're going to get laid out. But it is imperative that I reposition here, otherwise I will get HE spammed to death and trapped in a brawl that I want, but I want it on my own terms. So I am waiting for all of the guns to sink to make the most dangerous move, and that is going to be to flash my broadside to numerous battleships. Now, we do have an anti-fire build, but that is not going to save you when you're being HE spammed by so many ships. So as you saw there, I finally used one of my first damage controls, and of course I immediately get let back on fire, but you know what, I don't mind. I'm running fight fire with fire. You know, I can repair most of this damage anyway. The big thing for me is to get around here relatively unscathed, and there are lots of big guns over here. There is a Sinop, there's that Gneisenau, there is a Colorado. So I'm trying to time this while all of the big guns are behind an island and are unable to shoot me, and I think I'm gonna get away with it. Almost. Here comes a shot right there. Okay, that could have been worse. Oh, that was definitely, I believe, a Citadel shot, and I think that was from the Gneisenau, if I remember the color of their shells later. Wait, it couldn't have been. Those were blue. Well, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I have made it behind this gigantic glacier now. Now, hopefully it is obvious as to why I needed to get over here, and in case it's not, the reason I needed to get over here is because I only want to be shot by a few people at a time, not 6. As I'm looking at the mini-map and being like, how many people are actually over here? Well, we know the destroyer was on the middle of the map. Maybe they're coming this way too, but we still have lots and lots of cruisers over here and also 3 battleships. So let me entertain an idea that when one side is overloading another, The other side needs to just recognize that and go ahead and push on through. And sooner or later, I'm going to ping the mini-map right here. I'm trying to. Hey, Capture B, all of you guys on C, look at how many of us there are over here. 3, and we've got 6 red ships, so maybe the guys over on the other side of the map should kind of realize that and be like, you know what, we could move in there. And now that I've got my heal off, I'm ready to peek around this corner. I have to keep an eye on that Gneisenau, and I'm going to give that Gneisenau a GG right now. They did send me a friend request after this game because we had a pretty good brawl. No offense to anyone, you know, I'm just not accepting friends requests right now. It's not that I don't want to, it's just it gets so cluttered. Anyway, Belfast 43 over here. Boy, am I a noob. I did not see that I still had HE loaded, so I'm all ready for this dev strike, and I see those HE shells come out. I'm like, what am I doing? Well, it doesn't really matter anyway, because I didn't land a single one. But I have recognized the error in my ways, and I've switched over to AP, and I'm trying to read this situation. Belfast 43, we know it's got torpedoes. We know that there is a Colorado up in front of me, and we know that this Gneisenau, it keeps creeping behind me. You may remember that at the very beginning of the match, I was pinging that ship for people to sink, and I don't believe too many did. Well, we finally get a big hit on the Belfast 43 there, not a dev strike like we're hoping, but that's okay. That's okay. We're letting everybody get into the position that we actually want them to be in. I'm expecting that the Belfast 43 is going to single fire some torps there, and I'm thinking about reversing enough here to potentially getting all my guns on the Gneisenau. But if I look at the mini-map, I don't think this is a very good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and push forward because I haven't seen any torpedoes here yet, so maybe the Belfast 43 didn't fire them. And once I get this island again between myself and the Gneisenau, that gives me a little bit of time to work with. Fortunately, on my starboard side is a Leon, destroyer of cruiser worlds, and they nearly take that Belfast 43 out finally. But as it is, I will get around here and I will... Am I going to say yoink? I don't think that's really a yoink. But that's our first ship sunk, and we've got our position again. We are keeping the Gneisenau over on our left to not have a shot on our broadside. We've got the Colorado and other battleships up to the north without an angle to really do much damage to me either. So now we can focus down this Cleveland, who, as we all know, is just going to sit there and spam 8 rather than have read the situation earlier and reposition, because why learn how to position when you can just spam HE? Anywho, yeah, there goes the Cleveland. So we got our 2 ships sunk, and we are still keeping this Gneisenau behind us. Look, sneaky, trying to get me with torps. But now I am repositioning again. We know that this Gneisenau is going to come around behind me. So I need to angle to it, and I need to angle to this Colorado. Now there is a Sinop up to the north, kind of hiding behind an island up there. That may become an issue, but they are fortunately far enough away right now that they shouldn't really have too much of a shot on me. And as long as they stay behind that island, I can try and keep this island directly in front of me, kind of as a way to protect me. So I'm pre-turning my guns. You may have heard me mention this. I believe it was in the last video. Always good to pre-turn your guns when you know that you're going to be doing a drive-by. And man, oh man, where is the Colorado Citadel? I think it's easier for me to hit it through its bow than it is through this side. We give them a nice solid chunk there, but they continue to live. And so now we're going to again use the island in front of me to try and protect us, and we are angling for the battleships behind us. But I believe right about here the Sinop is going to catch me with a good shot. Yep, there it was. So not the greatest timing for that maneuver, but hey, we're still alive. And we've got this island protecting us, and we've got the angle that we want to protect us from the Colorado and the Gneisenau. And I was hoping that one of these shots would just sink that Colorado and I could use the rest of my salvo on the Gneisenau, but no such luck. However, our secondaries end up burning them down, and now we've got our angle still for the Gneisenau, but not exactly much health. I'm very concerned about the Sinop coming around the top and just erasing me from this game. But if you look at them on the minimap, they're caught on an island. So I have just a few seconds to try and take this Gneisenau out. And again, very nice game by this Gneisenau. They were doing some work. But we survive, barely. And I'm thinking, could this be a Kraken? I think it could, but it probably won't, because all it would take is probably, what, a shell into my superstructure? I'm pretty sure my superstructure isn't completely damage saturated, so one shell should be able to sink me. To survive, I would need this Synop to shoot every shell into my bow. And what are the chances of that happening? Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever played World of Warships Legends? Definitely clinching tight right now, because here comes the salvo and all into the bow. Well, one hit my turret, and this is where I make a fatal mistake. Why do I repair that turret? I really didn't need to do that, and that is probably a little foreshadowing to some trouble later. But we do get our turn in here. We've got our rear turret, and that gets them very close, and our front turret, and that gets them all the way to Kraken 399 in the Vladivostok. So a little concerned here, because I'm like, well, maybe that Flounder will shoot at me. There is the Venom over there, maybe trying to hunt me down. I'm trying to drop spot so I can get another big turn in and try and get a 6-pack, maybe a jackpot. It's been quite some time since we've had a jackpot in the Vladivostok. Let's zoom in and see where the Flandre's guns are pointing. Not at me, so that is a good chance for me to get a turn in and get all of my guns swung around, because, hey, I am at 1,652 more hit points than I need, right? One hit point, you can still sink a ship, and, you know, you should really be looking to remove any ship that's weak from the game. Get those guns off the board. So we get that shot out, and not going to sink them just yet. But again, trying to use this island out here to cover my turn. And I think next time we'll use a spotter plane. We have so many of those. Do they actually do anything? I don't know. I mean, I'm told that they do. I'm not trying to run a conspiracy here, but I'm not sure that a spotter plane is going to help the Russian dispersion formula over 11 kilometers at all. Maybe. I mean, that doesn't look too bad, right? Anyway, 6-pack. Now let's get the jackpot. So we know it's a destroyer. Might as well switch our guns over to HE, right, jerk? Right, jerk? Why aren't you switching your guns over to HE? Okay. So, now that we're still spotted, we have a pretty good idea that the Venom is coming towards me and is not on the right side of the island, because I think I would have dropped spot according to when they were last spotted. So I'm pretty sure that they're here in front of me. And yeah, the smoke screen going up tells me exactly where they are, and it looks like they are flowing to the right. And there they are. And now we have, what, 9 16-inch guns ready to smash? Oh, and we break some torps, but not everything. And I figure, oh, you know what? My teammates will get this now, right? Right? Teammates? Teammates? Secondaries? Teammates, somebody. And watch what happens right here. One last shell, and I have a fire on me. And no more damage controls, so I am going to burn into the ground. So nicely done, Venom. And let's just go ahead and fast forward to the scoreboard. 2,997 XP. Ugh. Just shy of the very good game barrier. But you know what? Maybe it was still a very good game, and a good game to all the players involved. And that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you're hoping for Sovietsky Soyuz to be added in Tier 8, then give this video a like. If you think there are too many high-tier Russian battleships already, I mean there's 2, and we need more American battleships, give the video a dislike. Questions, comments, leave them down below. And if you want to catch the hot take by the investigative reporters down at KRKN Channel 5 News when the patch notes drop, think about hitting subscribe. Thanks for watching, folks. I will get back out there for another, and we will talk then.